Welcome to Ongoing Volume Episode 9. I am one of your hosts, Digital, with my co host.
The master of magnetism, Blade. Did you expect someone else? Maybe a
Yeah,
Magneto?
right. There's no Iron Man, Wolverine around. Good. All right.
Okay. Actually, Wolverine would be an issue for me. I could just,
That's
play
what I
with
mean.
another
You're
side
just
of it.
say with Iron Man, you're just poo.
Yeah.
Later, nerd. All right. Well, what we have in the docket is Blaze going to go over some very exciting anime and manga news. One that I saw was I'm super excited to go into, and then we're also going to go into the Chainsaw Man review that we just wrapped up on individually last night. So we both were talking on the side of how excited we are to go into this volume, and then we have a couple segments that Blade and I we separately came up with, and we're going to see if we can get through both of them. I won't talk about them yet. We'll wait till we get there. So, Blade, do you want to kick us off with anime news?
Alrighty. So I hate to start out with a bit of a somber note, but we did have a few deaths over the last week that became news. Doromon's Chibi Baka-chan director Subima died at the age of 84, unfortunately.
Yep, saw that.
And unfortunately, we also have a manga creator, Majiro Kaname. I don't know what mangas he made, but it just was written there. I saw a couple of them, but I never read the mangas that he was part of. At least the ones that they listed on the news announcement. That's still sad to see, Patsy. We also had a few voice actors die that I didn't put on there because I am really bad with voice actors. So,
like pronouncing their name, you mean?
yeah, a lot of it.
Yes.
There were a lot of Japanese pretty famous voice actors and actresses, if I remember. I saw like 3 on the list, and I was like, wow, I can't believe how many people died.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bring.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that sadness out of the way, we now have some good news. So let's start out with High Dive. They announced 3 new streams coming in the next month. You got Yowayowa Sensei. Looks to be like a rom-com type thing inside of a typical high school setting. At least from the screenshot that was there. We got the most heretical last boss queen, a villainous to savior. That one looks kind of interesting. It looks like a typical like medieval style. It's probably gonna be like villainous going through changes or something like that. I don't know the details, like I said. The last one though, I have seen the first season of this. It's Farming Life in Another World 2. The second season of that.
Farming Life in Another World.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I liked it. The idea of that one is that the guy got brought to a different world, and he gets given an item from the gods. It turns out to be like an overpowered farming tool, and he accidentally gets sent into the most dangerous forest there is, and he starts making a farm there. Kind of domesticating some wolf. It actually is, yes.
Yeah.
And it turns into whatever weapon he wants. He does often have it as a home.
Okay.
But he ends up accidentally becoming overpowered because of it, and he kind of just wants to be left alone. So it's up in some very silly stuff.
There's a common theme with these different anime that are coming out, where
it's
like, oh, they accidentally became overpowered.
I was saying the first couple times, and this was not a bit ago, when the trope was just becoming a major thing.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so we got a couple new animes. Also, we got Chinese mythological manhwa called Sheng Shan. I don't want to say Sheng Song just because we all that's a different game altogether. It's Shan, Shan. So it's I think Sheng spelled the same way, Shang, but Shan. It's getting an anime that got announced along with the Forsaken Saintess and her food. The Forsaken Saintess and her foodie road trip in another world is also getting an anime.
Nice.
Another stupidly long name anime. Yes.
Bring the anime.
Then an anime will start broadcasting soon called Petal of Reincarnation. Looks fairly interesting. I'm gonna give it a shot
Nice.
once once we actually get over here because this is actually airing in Japan on April 2nd. I'm not sure when we'll get it over in stateside.
Oh, this
Uh,
looks cool.
yep, looks interesting. Like I
Yeah.
said, the last one, which is the one that I'm sure my co-host Digital is most excited about,
Yep.
Sekiro's anime.
Yes.
They
Yes.
announced a trailer and it looks really good. I actually the art style of that looks amazing.
Yeah. Have you played the game?
I have not played the game. I've watched people play it. I've never been a big Souls like game, and that's but it's considered one of the
It's
hardest.
it is, yeah, it's excruciatingly difficult. I played it, beat it, I don't know, probably like 4 years ago, and I did the bad ending because I didn't want to do the hard bosses because I was just like, I just want to be able to say I beat
Yeah,
it.
it's
But phenomenal game.
it's called
Story is great too.
Sekiro No Defeat. So
Yep.
very curious about. Like I said, I really like the art style. It is not a typical art style. It looks kind of like it was drawn in the um, old Japanese art style, with
Hmm.
like the broad lines and all that, and it looks good.
Yeah,
Gotta give me some more. What's the name of that game? Um, Okami.
oh, yeah.
Gotta have that art
Hmm.
style for those who
Yeah.
played it or know about it.
I'm gonna be keeping an eye out on this. I'm super excited. I've been wanting to come back to Sekiro for a long time now to do the good ending and then, actually get good at the game. But it is a great game. It is a great story. I'm excited that it's gonna be animated, and just by the art style, it seems like it's gonna follow pretty close to it. Because I know there's a lot of like adaptations of things that come out, and then if they don't honor like what the source material, it's really hard for it to succeed, right? And this looks like it's sticking to it, which is great. So anyway, I'm excited.
I mean, I couldn't understand a word of it because of for some reason the auto translation was not working for me. Was it working for you?
Oh, yeah, it worked for
Oh,
me. Yep.
I just thought it was pretty.
Yeah, no, yeah, it looked good. Yeah, they talked about. I'll loosely say like pretty much Wolf, who's the main character that you play as, and I do forget the kid's name, but he's like the protector of the kid. Both of them are technically immortals, and it's because of this kid's, this his bloodline and his role in this and that. Anyway, this is where the bad ending can like be is like you could go against what the kid wants to do and then do whatever you want. Anyway, they seem keeping to what the story is, and I'm not going to pretend I'm some big lore expert on Sekiro, but it does seem like it's remaining true, not just going and doing like some spin-off where like he's doing random missions, or something. So anyway, very exciting. Looks good. We'll be checking it out.
Can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah. Then you could say you finished Sekiro, and then you don't have to give any context. Like, yeah, it only took me like 20 hours because that's like how many episodes there are, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna be 20 hours,
No, I
honestly.
don't think so. But
Most
if it's
animes
even, but if it's less, then you could be like, yeah, I finished it in like, I don't know, 6 hours.
most animes one season is either 12 or 21 episodes or something in between there.
Yeah. So the shorter it is, the better it is for that. Oh yeah, my first, I finished it. I don't know, last week. I think it's 6 hours. I know, didn't have to restart.
Never had to restart. Yeah, it was so easy, man. It was like I
Yeah,
was watching a movie.
I thought about putting it on fast forward. Yeah.
Then I could have got done faster. I wasn't fast
Yeah.
as much as the story.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. That's funny. Sweet.
All right, that's all I have for news. So next up, we get to talk about Chainsaw Man Volume 9. Wait.
Yes. Oh my God. This I feel like the past few volumes
we
we
got
I
we got the major
we start off
reveals.
with yeah, we just get like thrown into it, right? You're like left on a huge cliffhanger compared to the early ones where it's like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Here it's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And yeah, it's so I don't know. How do you want to start off, Blade? There's a
Uh,
gazillion things that happen here.
yes, there is. Might as well start at the beginning with Power being afraid of the dark now. To
Like,
put
yeah, just in general.
Yeah, she is actually. She doesn't even want to go to the bathroom alone. It's insane, and it makes it
Yep.
so that so Aki's still alive. Thank goodness. So I was really happy to
Yep.
see that. Angel Devil's also still alive, though. Angel Devil's lost both of his arms, and Aki lost
Yep.
one of his.
Yep.
Um,
Which is awful because we saw Makima lose hers and then like just magically she has got it back.
yeah,
Yeah.
we do find out why though. So
Yes.
finally,
Yep. Yeah. So Makima and Denji are eating lunch together. Makima shares the idea that they should go on the trip with just the two of them. Denji, like, he's excited initially, and but then he's also super worried about power. And with what Blade just talked about, of if you haven't been following along or you don't know what we're talking about, they had just met the Darkness Devil, who's like one of the primal devils, super duper powerful, scary, been around for a long time, assumingly. And Power is absolutely terrified of the dark because of this. And so Denji wants to support Power the best that he can, and right, and be a good friend.
yeah. The other thing
And
I was kind of curious. Power isn't able to keep down normal food at this point either. You keep on seeing her throw her up, so I know what's going on with that.
yeah, I felt like that was just like anxiety and stress, where she's just like beating herself up in her head, so much that like she can't contain any. I don't know anything. That's what I felt like, or it was vegetables that they were feeding her.
She's always had
That's
an
what
issue
I.
with vegetables, but I don't think they ever show her throwing up vegetables. She just doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. She always says it's like poison or garbage or something like
Yeah,
that.
they're not
Yeah.
powerful enough for her.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then let's see. We see Aki takes Denji and Power on a trip to visit a grave that Aki goes and visits once a year. We see him missing his arm. There's like no signs of like there's like a way for him to get it back or anything. Which had me worried of like, okay, well, how is this going to work for Aki if he's missing an arm, right? Like, that's a huge damper. That's always a huge deal in anime, right? When somebody is missing an arm, like Yamamoto and Bleach, when he's missing his arm, right? Anyway, then when they return, Aki talks with Kishibe, talks about Division 4, wants to withdraw them from the pursuit of the Gun Devil. Kishibe talks about, oh, you're not going to get vengeance on, the impact that the Gun Devil has had on Aki's life.
I,
Aki's okay with this. Go
Going
ahead.
back, there was one thing I wanted to point out, which happened during the trip, which is because Denji and Power came along, Aki actually didn't have as bad of a time as he normally did. Because normally when he
Yep.
goes back, he has all these bad thoughts and memories swirling around in his head, and he gets depressed. With them
Mhm.
being around and causing so much chaos, he was like, I couldn't think of that.
He got
And
distracted.
yeah,
Yeah.
he got distracted completely, and Digi was like, "You're welcome."
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. He actually got to go do it for his,
You can see
for
Aki's
for
actually
him.
started to really like Denji and Power in his own way.
Yes. They're growing on him.
To the point that even when they came back and Kishibe was talking to him, he's just like, they're not. They've actually grown a lot, and they're not nearly as bad as they used to be. You can tell
Yep.
he actually likes them.
Yeah, he's actually like speaking on their behalf in a good tone, not just they're annoying. Why do I have to take them? Horrible roommates, all these things. And yeah, so let's see. Kishibe asks to change your heart, and then Aki, uh, he's talking about Power and Denji, and he remembers. Oh, so he tells him it's cold feet, but then he
Mhm.
kind of like thinks back of like everything that led up to that. He wants to pretty much protect them, keep them safe, especially since they know the darkness devil is like how scary and terrifying he is, the impact that has had to power. He just wants to keep his friends safe. And very quickly after, they are going to a meeting with Makima, and where this news is shared from um, Kishibe. And it wasn't like a secret. Like he was like, okay, yeah, I'll share this with Makima. See what she thinks. And so she like officially says,
Sure.
your division,
Yeah.
yeah, but she says like specifically like your division doesn't have to pursue this mission. However, Power
Denji
and
and
Denji are
Power
going.
do.
Yeah, which meant fine, Aki, you don't have to. I'm fine with that kind of thing. And then both of them are okay with it. And then Aki wants to change his mind because he wants to be a part of it to help in any way he can, pretty much,
He wants to
right?
protect Denji and Power, obviously.
Yep.
Kind of being manipulated to do that.
Imagine by who? By who, Blade? Yeah.
We find out why later on too.
Oh
We
my
finally get the
god.
reveal.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I'll do a little bit of a fast forwarding so we can actually get to some of the juicy stuff. So the Aki, Power, Neji are chatting. Aki has one of his like foresights with the future devil, and then he doesn't talk about it until the other two are gone. He talks to the future devil later about what did you show me, and we hear from the future devil that um the vision that Aki saw was that chainsaw is going to kill Aki and Power, and it's unavoidable, it's gonna happen. And then we get to also remember back to the future devil told Aki, like, as soon as they got a contractual agreement, that Aki was going to die in the worst way, right? So those are now two things that are going to have some connection. And right, so we get to keep that in mind with this new info of how Aki dies, right? And so immediately Aki wants to figure out how to prevent this because he wants to protect Power and Denji, right? So he's okay, well how can I change this? And he goes and talks with Angel, who knows, has knowledge of like how things can happen and change, and tries to poke his brain
I
on
think
what can
he
happen.
also goes to Angel for one other reason, which is to leave a note with Angel. Pretty much giving his okay to have Angel be like another devil to make contact with, like the future devil, the fox, and the fox devil.
Yep. Yeah, so that yeah, he would get kind of like a recommendation from Aki and Kishibe stating that, which goes a long way apparently, which is good for Angel because Angel has no arms and is worried about what is going to happen to them, like are they quote unquote of use kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with this information, um pretty much Angel goes and says, well, we need to talk to Makima, she might be able to figure out something. They go and find Makima, and then the whole world around us changes.
Hey Aki, do you want to make a contract with me?
Yeah.
Aki's a devil.
Which,
Makima's a devil.
yep.
Um,
And which devil is she?
he's a control devil.
Which is exactly what we've been since we met her. It's like
We actually get to
we've said
see
manipulation,
it.
but yeah.
Actually, well, it does go to the American side for a short
Yep.
time. The American president, and the American president's calling, and they're saying Makima's on her way, and we got to prevent her perfect future, or something along that
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
like
like,
her horrible perfect future or something like that,
yeah, and
where
there's
they don't want it. But it's or peace. Her
yes,
her
that
perfect
was
like
it. That
future
was the word they
peace or
used.
something. Yeah, which when you think of
I
that, you're like, oh, peace, that's not so bad. But then if if the president of the United States knows Makima by name, and then with what he's going to do shortly after, which we'll talk over, that means she's a big threat.
no kidding.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
my my guess here is the piece they're talking about is not actual peace, but more of everybody just forced to do whatever Makima wants.
Yes. So this made me think of Madara from Naruto, where he wants everyone under Tsukiyomi, where in their head, they get to have whatever piece they want. But it's like the Matrix, it's like, but in reality, you're not. You're in a cocoon and you're feeding this tree or whatever it was. So that's what my mind went
So
to. It's free will kind of thing.
yeah, and later on, I think we see an actual example of her piece.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
No.
Um, but yeah, we get in there, and the America decides they're making a deal with the Gun Devil. Which, by the way,
Yep.
we have learned at this point that the Gun Devil has actually been defeated, and most of the world have pieces of the Gun Devil. I think,
Defeated.
yeah, I think America has like 30 something percent of the Gun Devil.
Yeah, I have the numbers. You can keep going, but yeah,
Uh,
it's
I
20
do
20%.
20%. Okay,
20
and,
days with the Soviets, it said. Yep.
okay, they still have a good chunk of the Gun Devil.
Yep.
And one of the thing that he puts up as an ante, I don't think he should be allowed to do that. Honestly,
No.
he gives up 1 year of every American's life to the Gun Devil to defeat Makima.
Yep.
And it's like, it's not his to give. He may be the ruler, but it's not like he actually owns these people. And you can't make a
R-
deal on someone else's behalf. That's ridiculous. Why should that
right.
be allowed?
Well, and that's interesting too, because literally, like within the same like chapters, or maybe even the following one, I forget the order of how it all happens, but like with Aki and the Doll Devil, both of them, Makima had to like have them say it to go make whatever contract she wanted them to do. It wasn't like she's like, I sacrifice Aki, I
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice the Doll Devil. Like she told them to
She
say whatever
controlled the
thing.
other devil to be able to
Yeah,
say
exactly.
whatever she wanted.
So yeah, back to your point there is like, yeah, like what jurisdiction in contracts with devils, how does that even work?
Especially the way
Right?
the U.S. government is set up. There's not one person in true power of everyone.
Yeah, there's not a king or a
We have
queen,
a
right? It's
president,
very different.
and he's
Yeah.
kind of the face of the country for the time that they're in power. But they're not. They're
Yep.
set up so that they're not the only one in power, and that there's other groups that can stop him from just straight up ruling.
Right.
So yeah,
Yep.
he's not the leader. He has no control over any of us besides making laws. And like I said, any laws is prone for scrutinizing, and people can say no to them. So
Yeah, it's not like Game of Thrones for a quick example where the king literally can be like, "You are not a blacksmith anymore. You are my cupbearer," and then it's like, "You're gonna do that, or you're gonna die." Right? Like
that's
that's the type of power, I guess you would say, is difference where that's much more, he's in
this
charge.
might be just a
of it.
Japanese person understanding of the United States and not actually understanding how we have our
Sure.
government set up.
But
Uh,
I do wonder if it will be something that is talked about in the future with contracts. Like, will they dive deeper into like the intricacies of a contract with the devil? And I don't want to split too many hairs on this because there's more to go over, but I
true,
am
true.
interested on that. Yeah.
Yeah, just one of the things that I thought I noticed. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But to keep on going, we now have the Gun Devil at the door, and
And we
boy,
see
is
him.
he destroying things.
Yeah. So yeah, on Makima's side, real quick. So she forces Aki to make a contract. He kind of like is like drawn back of like, what do you mean? And then she's like, nope,
It's an
like
order. It seems like
it's an
whenever she said
order.
it's an order, the person has to do it. That might be
Yes,
part of the Control Devil's power.
yes. And I still think she has contracts with other devils in some way because she's not
Oh yeah,
just controlling,
but no, a
the
devil
her
can't have
powers.
contract with another devil. We've already
Maybe she
discussed that.
does it on behalf of these folks that she's
But
controlling,
she's
and
also
then
yeah, she's
says,
also controlling the Angel Devil. What the heck?
right. So I think she's doing it on behalf, like using her power to be like, give Makima X power, I will give you all of me, and then sacrifices people to get that. That's my theory. Maybe she's not directly taking contracts, but she's indirectly getting benefits from other people's contracts. Another contract theory of like, how does this all work?
I'm guessing that
Because
eyes also are a thing to it because every time she uses her abilities, people that don't want to be under control have to have their eyes blindfold. So I think it's part of the
oh
contract thing. She has to be making eye contact with you.
yeah, I was actually wondering, is it eye contact or is it an auditory thing?
I think it's actual
How
eye.
does that
I'm not
work?
certain, but that's
Yeah.
my theory.
Yeah, no, that makes sense with the blindfold stuff that we've seen already. Yeah. And then yes, and then we get to the Gun Devil is on fast pace to Japan and pretty much obliterates the first building he sees, which is like a church.
What I find interesting is
And
that you actually see the list of names of everyone that gets
yeah,
killed by the Gun Devil. The Gun Devil
yeah,
actually knows each and every single person that he kills.
yeah. And seeing him in the flesh is kind of cool. Like he looks really scary. uh he looks pretty large, and the fact that he just got such a big fat contract means to me he is not gonna give up. Like he's gonna, pursue this mission. And like anyway, and then what happens? So then he eventually gets to Makima.
He kills Makima for the twenty-ninth
Yep.
time, apparently. At least
Yep.
those were the recorded deaths of Makima.
Yeah. She gets like a little angel ring above her head, but it's not the same as like angels. It looks different. And I think they go out of their way to show you it's not the same. Um,
Not fleshy.
yeah, it is fleshy. And then she's like chained to like the beings that she's made different, I wouldn't say contracts with. Maybe they are contracts, but like she has something with like Aki and the Spider Fiend and Angel and whoever else was on there that I can't
There's a
recall.
bunch of special defense forces people that we only met
Yeah.
for short periods of time.
But then I thought I saw the Gun Devil had a halo appear on his head as well.
I did not
I'll,
catch
I'll
that if that happened.
yeah.
Huh.
Let me look. It's right at the end of this, so it shouldn't be that hard to find. Um, but then we go. So
Yeah,
then
it's like a
we go.
blackout, and we go back over to Denji's side, who someone's
Yep.
out pounding on his door, and guy goes back to the door that's in his head, and he gets told, "Don't open
Yep.
it! Don't open it! Don't open it!"
Yep. Uh, yes. And then he gets a phone call, and they're at Aki's, right? And
Mm.
so Power and Denji are at Aki's, and then yeah, they get a phone call, and then um they decide to answer it because they're used to, I'd imagine they're used to Aki doing all the grown up things, right? And so
Mm.
they're like, oh, okay, I'll answer it. Then it's Makima, and then
Makima warns him that
oh, it's not a ring, it's a bunch of like, it looks like it's like a ring where she activates some ability above the Gun Devil's head, and then a bunch of like bodies or something like come out of it with knives and go to attack the Gun Devil.
oh yes, yes, yes. I think that's
It
something to do
looks
with the Angel Devil.
Yeah, but the ring looks exactly the same as Makima's ring.
I wonder
So
if
that's why
she,
I thought it was a halo
yeah,
until you pan down. Okay. Yes. Anyway, so yes, Makima asks Denji, have you seen the news? Nope. She's like, okay, I'll give you the short version. Pretty much, there's the Gun Devil outside your door. And don't
except
think about anything this time. Just attack, kind of thing, right?
she puts it that they lost control and the Gun Devil took someone.
Yes, I took a dead body, uh,
Mm.
or corpse or whatever she said, and then
It's pretty much
uh,
there's now a gun fiend instead of a gun devil.
Yep. And so Denji doesn't really believe her, and then Makima isn't, answering anymore, or maybe she's off the phone, whatever. And so then Denji hangs up, and then he wants to believe it, but he's not exactly sure. He thinks it's a prank, and then he's like, "Well, just in case, Power, why don't you take Meowie and leave out like the back door or back area?" And he's gonna go answer the devil. And then who is there?
He gun
Y-
fiend form. But
Yeah.
yeah, and they start fighting, and this is where I'm gonna point out what I think Makima's piece is, because inside the Gun Devil's head, you actually are seeing the fight. It's switching between the perspectives of Chainsaw Man and Aki, and Aki's sitting
Yep.
there with snowballs, throwing it at people, just having
Yep.
fun
He's a little kid. He's throwing snowballs. Yeah, at Denji. Yeah.
until he gets defeated. That it kind of destroys that sort of peaceful mentality. I'm thinking, wait a second. The Gun Devil probably is under Makima's control now and took over Aki's body, and now
Oh,
Makima's under
interesting.
control of
That's
the.
what you think is happening.
That's what I think is happening. I think Aki is under the control of Makima, and Makima's purposely having him go after Denji for some reason. I'm gonna say this is kind of all a part of Aizen's plan type of thing.
Yeah.
All a part of Makima's plan.
That's an interesting thought. I didn't put much thought into what was going on other than um I just figured that Aki I don't know, the Gun Devil somehow got a hold of Aki and used Aki's information to go find Denji, but I didn't even think of how he would compared to Makima, who would actually be able to control him and has him. That's smart. Yeah. Uh so yeah, in Aki's head, he's a little kid.
The
Again.
Gun Devil has no reason to go after Chainsaw. That way made a deal with him to go after Chainsaw. Gun Devil is after
That's true.
Makima.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before, and maybe this is me playing catch up on all the details. Before everything was said that the Gun Devil was after Chainsaw this whole time. That's where Rize comes into play. That's where the sword fiend guy comes into play. But was the Gun Devil always, in these in these tiny pieces, and he wasn't able to go cast out these orders?
I'm not sure
Is
if
that
it was actually the Gun Devil. We've already got confirmation that the Gun Devil was killed a long time ago. Now
yeah.
he's in pieces, and people only have pieces of the Gun Devil.
Yeah.
So
So you think it was
how
Makima?
was he control? Yeah, I think someone else was controlling the people to go after Denji. For some reason, I think it does still have something to do with the last thing that devils hear before they leave hell.
Yeah. So Makima is like you said, she's the Aizen. Everything has been going according to her plan for her to get Denji for whatever big plan she has for Denji. She probably wants him to level up, quote unquote, in his power. That's why she keeps throwing these hurdles at him without just like handling it herself. That's kind of what that leads to in my head with that, because that all makes sense because she's a huge huge like think tank, and then with her powers she's like gonna get whatever tool she wants. Like
There's got to be a limitation
scary.
to it, but it's very hard to find that limitation. Just that she has control over. We already know she has control over just about every single mice, bird, bat, anything small around. She has control
Yeah,
over. That's how she gathers all of her information.
yeah, yeah, she's definitely one of the more terrifying. She's quickly becoming an antagonist. So
She's a
I'm
question mark. I'm not sure what her plan is at the end of the story. Why she's doing
yeah.
all this? Why it just doesn't make sense. We also see as Aki's dying, the future devil coming out and saying, "You have done. You have the worst possible ending for Denji, or something like that."
Yeah, for the Chainsaw Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where like he never quite finished the detail on the worst ending or worst way to die or whatever, and then it's, it's more elaborated at Aki's death that it was for Denji. Pretty much is, it was the worst way for him to die. Is Denji is calling out to his friend to stop killing people because Aki doesn't know it. He sees people in his head. He thinks, "Oh, you want to have a snowball fight?" And like he throws a snowball and it literally like wipes whoever is going to get hit by that snowball like a tank shell times a million. Like it's just obliterating the floor, the concrete, the city, like no joke. And so Denji is calling out to him. It's super sad. It is super sad. To see Aki in that state, not know. Aki has not had a good record of luck, really, through most of the series, which makes it that much harder to see this as like, I'd imagine he's not coming back, right? So he dies from Denji. Denji obviously is not happy that he had to go put him down, right? He actually gets support. Denji actually gets support from civilians that are
We want to
terrified.
live, yeah.
Yeah, want him to help fight whatever is happening, provide him blood. And they recognize him from the news, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they say. And so Denji goes and has to go, finish off one of his best friends to go protect everyone. And
It's so
I,
sad.
it is really sad. It is such a turn of events for everything within this volume to change because Aki is so relatable. He is just like, he's like what you would think of, like he's the normal guy, and he's also got the experience. He got to that job through his keen knowledge, his fighting ability. Like he worked to get there. It seemed like, right. He didn't just like fall into it like Denji and Power, who like happened to be a fiend or happened to have made a you know devil contract. Like he has his contracts, but he's also a human, right? Anyway, and then he put up with Denji and Power. Anyway, not to make this a big super somber moment, but I mean, that just naturally shifts the tone so much to, we have to dislike Makima because not only did Aki reach out to her because he was trying to protect those two, and she like didn't even let him like really think on like the contract part. It was, want to make a contract with me? That's the cliffhanger. You go to the next chapter. Boom.
You made
She's
it.
forcing you
Yeah,
to.
she pretty
Yeah.
much made them make contacts with her.
Yeah. Because it makes you
That's a
think like,
scary thought.
he, yeah. And he was, I mean, he was arguably in love with her, just like Denji, right? Like, very, and she did play the same game, I'm sure, without ever using her power. And when he, isn't of use to be free will anymore, she's just going to add you to her deck of cards, right? Like, so messed up. Uh anyway, yes, I was saying last episode how Makima was the main interest because Denji was starting to get boring.
Mm.
She is still crazy interesting, but she's crazy.
She's insane. I'm actually
Yeah.
scared of her.
Yeah.
She's someone I
She's
would never
terrifying.
want to meet in real life. I can understand why people are so terrified and want to get rid of Bakama.
Yeah, everyone. Um
Even her own team,
like I was gonna
Kishibe
say
wants to get rid of
Kishibe,
her.
Quan Chi, the president of the United States in this series, like those are at least three I can think of off the top of my head that are like uh uh Santa when he's when he's on the bench getting his orders, like they know she can listen and they want her dead too. Like this isn't a like rare thing. Like the world wants her gone, pretty much is what I'm getting.
Mm.
And rightfully so. This is the stuff where we've seen the curtain. we knew something was behind the curtain this whole time, and now we're starting to get to peek behind the curtain. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I was very upset to put it down, but I'm excited to
I want to
get
see the rest
through.
of it. Yes.
Yeah, and go over it some more. So that'll be super fun. But yeah, that was the latest volume that we have read at this moment, and uh, I'm again I want. I mean, there's so much we have still to read, right? So I'm excited to see what are the events that happen because it. I hope what you're saying is correct and that Makima was the one that was controlling it, and I want there to be some thread for Denji to realize Makima's bad because I don't know if he has that hint yet, right? He knows the
He
Gun
really
Devil
well. He's
is a
actually
part of
has
it.
gotten a few hints of it. Like when he was facing the Bomb Devil, he kind of gave hints to him that Makima.
Yeah, and I guess I mean like what's going to be the hay that breaks the camel's back kind of thing. Like what is going to be the thing that makes him go, "Okay, I'm done. You are bad. I need to defeat you."
Yeah,
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah. Let us know what you think so far. Or if you've already caught up, are we on track?
Could be very
Yeah,
far
crazy.
off. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll quickly say we haven't ironed this out yet, but we are going to be working on speeding up how we go through these volumes. We'll figure out how we go about it, but we want to get caught up in a hurry.
We're kind of realizing that if we go a volume a week for the next little while, we won't get done till much later on, and it's like,
Yeah, months.
yeah, we
Yeah,
kind
and
of
we want
want
to
to
get
speed
caught
this
up
up.
to brainstorm. Yeah, yeah,
We want to
exactly.
do modern day brainstorming of what's happening, theory crafting, and all this fun stuff.
Yep, exactly. And do this more with other series too, right? Um, so anyway, yeah. Well, unless you had additional thoughts on the review, you have a segment survival rate.
Yes. So I'm gonna go through another isekai. You've been isekai again. Yay! You
Yay!
know, it's
I'm a
it's
vending machine.
yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're getting sent to a different world though.
Okay.
But you are not given any powers. You're not given any abilities. You are a typical nobody in the world. You are an NPC. What is your
Ooh.
chances of actually surviving in each of these worlds? I'm going to give you an
All right.
anime. This is happening during the anime time frame. So give you a heads up. The first one's Dragon Ball Z. We are only dealing with Dragon Ball Z. We're not dealing with Dragon Ball. We're not dealing with Dragon Ball Super or GT if you count that. It is just Dragon Ball Z. And you're nobody in the world. What is the chances of you surviving on the planet, on whatever world you're in?
100%.
You think you're gonna survive 100% on Dragon Ball Z with
Yep.
Majin Buu running around?
I feel like you took my notes. I have a similar question on mine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's go for it.
Okay, so survival rate on Dragon Ball Z. It actually is the first one. So, what do you think the chances are you surviving there?
Just Dragon Ball Z in general.
Yeah, and all the things that are happening there. I know some of it happens outside the planet, so I guess you're safe during those things, like Namek. You're safe
Mhm.
during that time frame. But actually, the later part of it does happen on Earth, and there's a lot of people who gets killed in there.
Yeah, so let's see. So,
I think the biggest threats you
Vegeta
have.
and Nappa arrive, right?
Yeah, so you got Raditz, you got Vegeta and Nappa. You got the androids that happen later on because we're gonna skip a
Yep,
few because Frieza doesn't happen on Earth.
yep.
Um, you got
Cell.
Cell, you got Majin Buu, and I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
We'll count that if you get
All right.
resurrected by the Dragon Balls, you're fine. But because that does happen, I think with Majin Buu or something like that, that everybody dies and they get rich back or something like that.
Yeah,
Been a while.
so let's see. Do I survive? That's
Do
hilarious.
you
That
survive?
so
What are the
I'll
chances of you surviving?
let's see. And I know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Like
you
I'm
don't.
I'm in there with the info I have right now. I drop in and it's okay. How can you survive?
Yes, I'll give you
Okay,
that.
let's see. So the only way I survive any of this is I get the Dragon Balls, and
Good
I
luck doing
need
that.
to. Right. So I also need to become friends with Dende at some point, and he has to be
That's
there.
probably going to be your
So
best bet is to go to Dende's tower. Actually,
yeah.
probably hang out
So
with Corn.
here's also the thing: is I have to find the Dragon Balls at a time period that allows me to, where they're not getting snatched up by the Z fighters, and I also have to get the or the whatever it's called, the radar that Bulma makes, because there's no way I'm just gonna find them across the world, right? And so I have to somehow do that. Let's assume I can do that. Let's assume I get them all
That's
while they're
always a
on
slim chance,
Namek.
but okay.
So let's assume I survive the Nappa Vegeta interaction, and then they go to Namek for a good amount of time. And there's the traveling to Namek, there's the fights that happen in Namek, and then there's the return from Namek. And during that time, I can try to find the Dragon Balls by somehow stealing the radar. I keep forgetting what it's called. The Dragon Ball radar thing. And
Oh,
um so if I can't get that, and if I can't become friends with Dende, because I don't even think Dende's there until they make a wish to take all the Namekians to Earth or
yeah,
whatever
just
they do
Dragon
by the end of
Radar.
it. Yeah, the Dragon Raider. Okay. Because I think Dende's not there because the Namekians aren't there until Frieza's defeated, and then everyone's wished back, and then wished back
Well,
on Earth. I think is what
yeah,
happens.
Dende doesn't come until after oh Piccolo and
Nail
Kame.
or Kami. Yeah.
Yeah, fuse back together.
Okay. So Kame is not going to be friendly to me at all. He's too old. He's too strict. He's not
He
going to
was
be
nice enough to
friendly to me.
Goku when he came up.
I just don't. I don't have the fighting prowess and
True, you're not
experience
going
to
up there to
like win
train.
respect. Yeah, exactly. I have to be the future Trunks esque. Like I know what's going to happen. Here's how we can prevent it. And somehow folks got to believe me. So I think I can survive up to that point easily. And then when you get to the Android saga, I really just have to not be on the ground, which means I'm up in the tower making friends with Yajirobe. I
Yeah,
think that's his name.
Jirobe.
Yajirobe. There we go.
Yeah,
Um
and
and and
really, no,
Kami.
what's his name? What's a cat's
What's the
name?
cat's name? Yeah. Uh
I mentioned it
anyway.
earlier, and I just drawing a blank right now. Corn.
Corn, yes. So if I can somehow make friends with them, I'm safe from like Cell eating people up, right?
Yes.
Down there.
I think
And
that
the
section in
androids,
general never gets really attacked because no one's ever really there except for to pick up Bitsu beans.
yes, yes.
You're gonna become a bean farmer. Got it.
Yeah, so I have that much time to get that interaction, right? From beginning of Frieza Saga where they're heading out to Namek all the way up until the android cell, arc, right? So I feel like I have some time. And then the next scary thing is so Cell does even Perfect Cell. He doesn't do anything up there that is going to damage it. So I still have until Super Boo. And then when they bring him up there to fight Go
He
tanks.
doesn't actually go down to Corn's level though. He
No,
stays
but
up at the
that's where
very, very
like
top.
yeah, so I guess that's where I'm at the most risk is kind of what I'm getting at,
Yeah.
right? That they're now the closest they ever have. So I have to somehow between that point uh convince them to make a wish to to do something before Super Boo is a problem or Majin Buu is brought back. and I think that's the only way that that plays out. So I think it's low because you have to get in that inner circle, and nobody there is not a single random civilian that is in that Z fighter circle. It's the androids, it's the Z fighters that were already there. It's like their kids and their wives and Hercule because he's like the PR guy for them, really. And that's really
What are you
it.
talking about?
Like
He
there isn't,
saved the universe, right?
yeah, but there's not like a random like, oh, this person, whatever, super brilliant other than Bulma who grew up with them. Like there isn't like somebody that is they just keep around for anything else. So I think even if I have all that plan, I don't think it's happening because the Z fighters are always looking for a fight. I'm never going to convince Goku and Vegeta to let me make a wish to prevent some big baddie from coming because they're going to want to fight him. And I think the only way that I could have anything exciting happen is I have to wish. If I'm allowed a wish, then it's on me. How do I get out of there? Where am I going? What planet would I even want to go to? Um, I don't feel like they really explore other planets that well to make me go, ah, like Namek is a good one, but it's gone.
Oh, Namek is worse back.
Oh, they do bring it back. That's right.
Go back to Namek. Like that
Yeah, I
might
don't
be
know.
your safest place if you go back if you manage to get
That's
back there.
true. No one's going back to
Especially
Namek to
since
blow it up again,
fighters
right?
kind of there aren't many fighters on Namek. They're all farmers.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I say low. I say 10%.
Okay, 10% it
Even with
is.
that big plan. Yeah. Sorry to give you the long-winded answer, but I wanted to think about it.
It's fine. Yeah, 10%. That works for me. Actually, I'm gonna skip a couple of these. I don't think much happened in Super either. For at least not on the planet that I'm aware of. Oh, he's got.
Frieza. If you look at the movie with Frieza,
I'm not
they
counting
invade, but
movies.
the Z fighters, yeah, the Z fighters handle it.
Yeah.
And then Beerus, he doesn't really do anything to the planet. He
How,
defends a
do
lot.
you think you know enough about Full Metal Alchemist to do that one?
No, I'm only on like episode 3.
Okay,
I would
that
love
was
to.
one of my question
I'll make it a
mark.
mission.
But
Why
this
don't you
one
give
you
that
should.
idea?
This one you
And
should
I'll
know
work
enough
on it.
about to actually be able to say something about. Even if you haven't
Okay.
watched a whole lot, like this is a pretty popular One Punch Man. His
One Punch
universe,
Man.
where people are randomly turned into monsters and start attacking people. And there's this
Is
organization that actually full of
yeah,
heroes
Zero.
that aren't very much heroes, if you ask me.
No, they're not. Zero. There's yeah, I don't think there's anything that I can really do to prevent anything. Everyone there has an ego except like Saitama. All the big heroes like could not be bothered. They have to wait to be paid and have a
I
mission.
think I would just hang out
And
with. I would just find Saitama and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna do the job, and I will help you in any financial situation you
I
need.
will yeah,
Save
exactly. I will pay
me."
rents. Yeah, yeah, keep me alive. I guess that's my
Why are
only
you friends
bet
with him? Because he's literally the strongest person in the galaxy, in this world.
in the series, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
now for the one they do know a lot about, the Naruto universe.
Oh, well, I don't want to be in the Leaf Village.
Oh, why
Pain is gonna
not?
blow it up. Orochimaru invades. Kurama
I don't think the
invades.
Sand Village would be much use either.
Sand Village is no bueno either. Rain Village is bad. That's just full of war. Oh gosh. What are the other villages? Wherever the Reikage is at is probably my best bet. I forget what village that they're called. I That's probably yeah, it's probably my best
But
bet I
then
could
you
think
wouldn't
of
get
because
Naruto's awesome ramen shops.
yeah, but you asked me on survive. Like, where am I most likely to survive? I'll tell you what, it ain't the hidden leaf. That village is not hidden. Uh, Everyone is finding it and fighting them.
They should probably move
As
it to
much
a
as I
better
think it
spot.
would be cool, yeah, it would be awful, especially when Nagato gets there with his pain bodies. No. wipes the village literally into a hole. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Wherever B and A are hiding in their village, I'm going there. Plus, I can listen to B do his raps.
Okay, I guess you consider that a plus. I was never a big fan of his. Well, his raps weren't too bad. I've definitely heard
Hey,
worse.
if we're talking survival, I'm gonna look for positives, right? you
Fair enough.
know?
Fair enough. Fair enough. What are the chances of you
Yeah.
surviving there, though? Give me a percentage.
Uh I don't remember the lore on that village enough of what happens. I'm pretty sure the Raikage before the current one, he goes toe to toe with some tailed beasts and actually like fends them off and never actually gets harmed. So he's kind of a big deal. So I don't think anyone is handling him or even current A
Like
from
50,
Shippuden.
60%, you
I would
thinking?
say, yeah, it's probably like at least 50%. I'm feeling comfortable. Confident, comfortable.
Right. My Hero Academia.
Oh,
You now have a quirk. It sucks.
I don't.
You're not
Yeah,
a hero.
yeah. I need to find All Might, eat some hair.
But if you
Yeah.
have a quirk, I'm saying that you already have a quirk because less than 10% of people have a don't have quirks, and unfortunately, with one for all, I had to
Yep.
sit there and think about which one's which.
Which one
Well,
am I
one,
talking about? Yep.
yeah, for one for all, you actually will die much quicker if you take the power and you already have a quirk. One of the things
Mm,
they pointed out about it.
okay. I don't want. So I'm going in with no quirk, or do I get a quirk?
You get a quirk, it just gonna suck.
I get a quirk. Oh,
You're gonna be like the masses, and the masses have a quirk of some sort.
yeah.
But most of
So
them are
let's see.
really sucky and can't be used in battle or anything like that. Like
What's the
Deku's.
guy that has the swords and is slaughtering people?
Oh,
Stain.
Stain,
Stain.
yes.
I am wherever he's at. I am not going to be there. Uh,
Actually, I would say
he.
you're okay because Stain actually just doesn't like the people who claim to be heroes that aren't heroes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I was thinking he attacks people that have quirks, and
No,
I'm not going to claim to be
he's
a
mainly
hero.
just going after the people who are claiming to be heroes.
Yeah. Well, I'm leaving Japan if that's where I'm bopped to because they show that there's the other countries that exist too with oh, what's her name? Is it Stars and
Stars and
Stripes?
Stripes, yes,
Yeah.
America.
So the US, right, they actually
They
have like
mentioned
a whole
they mentioned the number
world.
one in each continent. I can't remember what each one of them is, but Stars and
Yeah.
Stripes was
So
U.S. But she
I'm just
actually
gonna
has an
go.
amazing quirk.
She does. Yeah. Super cool. I think I need a refresh on that because I'd be down to talk my hero as well. That one I got really far on, but that was a while ago. Yeah, I could see if I can get. I'm assuming I'm going to drop into Japan because that's where the series mostly takes place.
Yeah.
If I can get out of there and I can get over to the states where I speak English, I'm from the U.S. I'm sure I could do a lot better there. I, mostly it's the unknown I'm banking on. Are the villains not as crazy as All
I'm
for
assuming
One?
they're not because they do not
I
have All for One.
Exactly. And you never hear anything like All Might going to go over to the US to go face some big baddie like Stars and Stripes had to when All Might was gone, you know. Um, so I'm banking on getting a ticket out of there and going to the states where I can, hopefully it's not too crazy, and I can be like, well, at least I know this place, and I can speak the language. I have a better chance just surviving in general. So I'm going to say like 80%
Okay, okay.
because there is an off chance that I'm just random
Assuming you can get
casualty
out
from a
of
fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
assuming you get out of the major hotspot of all the stuff that's going on.
Hmm.
All right. The final world I have that you have to try to live through and see what the chances are. Chainsaw Man, of course.
Oh man,
You're dealing with
that is
devils, fiends, and all
that
that
is
stuff.
so
And this time, you do not have
awful.
a devil with you.
That world is awful. Um,
I think you probably have about the same chances as One Punch Man, honestly.
I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say 0. Like, even if you want to just skip around how Makima is just big brain, try to, conspire everything she wants to ever happen. You have like the Gun Devil isn't the only big baddie out there, right? I know there's other ones that we haven't seen that have caused damage
The
at
Tomato
some
Devil could
level.
kill someone. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so yeah, if the Gun Devil is literally wiping cities, like, and he's still he's a big deal, right? He's not a darkness level, at least it seems like. Um, but those devils aren't walking around obliterating cities. However, like if there's a zombie devil, which there is, if there's, all these other quote unquote lesser devils than the gun devil, I yeah, I don't see it happening. I don't see where I go somewhere unless I'm alone, sadly, right? Where because there's
Become a
always fear.
hermit.
You're gonna have a yeah, you're gonna have a fear of something somewhere, and I feel like that's gonna fuel whatever devil, and then they might even be like naturally curious of,
Why there's a devil devil?
approaching a devil. Yeah, I mean, we talked about isolation, right? That could be a thing that's a negative on that front. So I think it's in the zeros. I don't
You're screwed.
I don't yeah, there's no way. Like, I don't see it at all. Like, even if I was to go somewhere that's like, we don't even know the intent behind the Gun Devil wiping those cities. Like, did he do it as a pass by, or did he get a contract and he had to go do that? Like,
Yeah, we don't know.
we have no idea, and that's one.
Yeah, and it's like there's so much we don't know that even if we lived in that universe, it'd probably be like, yeah, we're kind of screwed. No matter
Yeah,
where we went.
I couldn't imagine the ecosystem, the economy of like how they handle this type of stuff of like even if you were like, yeah, I could survive and then a whole city gets wiped. Like money is a problem. Like you're going to starve. Right? Like every category is oh cool. They wiped out the power grid at the city you live. You now know you have no power all the food that you've prepped, to go microwave or whatever, that don't matter now, right? You gotta go eat dry ramen, like, okay, what's the next thing, right? You can sit here and doom prep, but I don't think so.
Yep, you're screwed. All
Yeah.
right. That's the last one I had. I thought about doing a couple
Okay.
others, but I think we're good on
I
time for
like that.
that. So go over to
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah, so mine was I called it what if, and you literally had this same exact one. It's funny because we're not sharing notes.
No, we don't.
So it is funny that because we try to surprise each other. So one of my what ifs was pretty much exactly the same as yours of you arrive on Earth at the beginning of the Android arc. What do you do to survive? Uh
Oh, so you already already
um,
thought about that. Explains a lot.
yeah, I literally have like that word for word. And so as you're saying that, I was like, oh, all right, I'll just read it first. It's my second one. Yeah.
All
Uh-huh.
right, so I'm in the Android arc, so I have time. Luckily, during the initial part of this Android arc, not many people get killed. I have to avoid Android 17 and 18.
Yes.
But until Cell happens, there wasn't any major destruction, if I remember, because they kind of just went to cities and kind of was bored. So
Yep.
I'm sure I do like your idea of going to Corrin's tower and just try to live there. But if I'm just getting there now, I probably wouldn't be able to get up there,
Yeah,
especially
you're
since
having a lot less time.
I also don't have the strength to climb that tower. And it's not like I
That's
have
true.
flying Nimbus or something that I could take to get there. Might be able to get there if I
If you
went
get rope
to
and you tie yourself to because it's a ladder, right? It's a
yeah
ladder up.
no
So
I
if you
think it was actually they climbed it or something like climbed the actual pole
oh,
or
I
something
think
like
you're
that.
right.
This is
Ooh.
back in
Yeah,
Dragon Ball, so
you'd
I
have
don't
to
know
get
100
like a
remember.
climbing gear
Yeah,
to like be able to
or
rest. Yeah.
we do have flying cars. I don't think I would have the money to get that. Who cares about money? I'm just gonna take someone's flying car and fly up there.
Dude, for real, that's where I'm at. Take the Dragon Radar. I'm not
I don't think
asking
I'd be able to
Bulma.
get the Dragon Radio, but multiple people have these flying cars, and I'm looking at how the driver's ed is for when Goku and Piccolo got their driver's license. I think it'd be similar to driving a car in the that we normally have. I just had to figure out how Z works. I think if I could get
Yeah.
that, I'd be fine. Because then I could just go
Also,
fly over to Korn's tower.
yeah, and I just thought about this too as a note on the Dragon Radar is if the Red Ribbon Army is able to get that from Bulma, I'm pretty sure they do a handful of times. Then I think you could.
Maybe. The problem is that now we have Bulma with Vegeta.
Ooh, that's true. What if I give you the same exact scenario that I had then? You have the same
They
exact time
have time
frame,
frame.
everything. Yeah.
I'd probably actually go work for Capsule Corps
Okay.
and start getting in with them and let the kind of give hints I know a bit more about what's going on than I see. And
The
actually
layout, you understand the
start
security.
eventually hopefully get over to Bulma and be like, hey Bulma, I know what's gonna happen in the future. And I
You
don't
start
want to
like showing pieces
die.
that are happening as they're happening, you
Yep.
know. Yeah. That's a
I
good
mean,
way to do it. Yeah.
they already had a future Trunks show up and give some future hints.
Yep.
So it wouldn't be
Yep.
that big of a throw for me being like, yeah, I know what's going to happen. I'm not happy about it. I don't want to
Yeah.
die. I need your help.
Yep.
I think that would be a
Yeah.
better chance than anything. I think it wouldn't be that hard to get a job at Capsule Corp, even if it was like Butler.
Yeah. I mean, she's a billionaire,
Yeah.
right? So she'll take sure, come
She
on
owns
over.
one of
You're
the
gonna help.
biggest
That's fine.
companies in the world. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Yeah, that's funny that as you were saying it, I'm like, dude, you're not in my doc. How that's crazy. The sheer coincidence that we had the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like great minds think alike. All right. Here's my other one. This one's gonna be pretty fun. So you land in the Pokemon series and you get to pick the region, the starter that you want, and the legendary that you're gonna chase. What do you want that combination to be?
Actually, I would want to chase Mewtwo.
Same. You can actually
Too.
talk to him too.
Yeah, and because of that, I'd probably go with the. I can't remember the different regions of it because I don't really pay enough attention. But the first region, red and
Kanto?
yeah, and I'd probably. Technically, it's a terrible starter, but I would want to go Charmander just because I want my Charizard.
There you go.
It's either that or Squirtle because I do like those two. I'm not a big fan of Bulbasaur. I know a lot of people love Bulbasaur,
Nope. I think
but
Bulbasaur's the worst of the three.
yeah,
Uh,
I never cared for the aesthetics of Bulbasaur's evolution line. Like I loved.
Especially Venusaur. Venusaur is just a big
It's just a plant
dinosaur.
that's coming. It's like a bulb, flower, then a bigger flower. It just
Yep.
I never really cared for it. And I don't think it will have that much use for me. Whereas if
Yep.
I had Charizard, I could fly around on Charizard. If I had Blastoise, I could go in the oceans with Blastoise.
Yep.
So
Blast.
I think either. So if I if I wanted to go with the better option in the actual run, I'd probably go Blastoise, the Squirtle route. But personally, my favorite Pokemon is Charmander. It was the first Pokemon I got. I would probably have to go with that one.
Hey, Ash with Pikachu beat Brock, right?
Yeah,
So,
the
you know,
technically in universe rules do not necessarily count for in-game rules. That is true.
yeah. Yep.
Like they mentioned
So,
that
I'm sure
there are advantages, but it's not nearly taken as much. Like you don't get one shot as a Pikachu against an Onyx if they throw rocks at you, something like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's a fair enough point. Plus, I got the time entry I guess from Ratatats. I actually probably want to get Pidgey.
The
Pidgey's always fun.
Rattatas, the Caterpies, the
Yeah.
Pidgeys, just get a army of them.
Yep.
Yeah. Chip away at Onyx. Yeah.
So personally, It'd be silly as it would be. I wouldn't mind actually being turned into a Pokemon just to see what it was like at that point, and actually be able to communicate with Pokemon.
Well, there you go.
And there's multiple, like, you cannot tell me that can't happen in the Pokemon universe. That even happened in the first game. And there's
With Bill.
multiple different indications of that happening. Even in the mystery dungeons, it usually starts out with you getting turned into a Pokemon. So,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, there is
So you pick Kanto, you pick Charmander, and you pick Mewtwo.
Mewtwo. Yeah.
That's literally. I thought about it, and mine would be I really like Kanto because I'm OG, and I pick Squirtle. I love the water, and then legendary. I want to chase Arceus.
Oh, you want to go for the God Pokemon? Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I love Mewtwo, but if I get to pick, I want to change it up. I want to go for Arceus or Dialga.
Fair enough.
Yep. Cool. That was mine. Yeah. Look at that. Great minds think alike. All right. Well, yeah, that is what we had for today's episode. And if you've listened this far, feel free to check us out on YouTube. And we are everywhere, officially everywhere, on all the podcast platforms that you can listen to. Check us out, Ongoing Volume, and let us know what segment ideas that you have. What would you have done? How would you survive Dragon Ball Z? What Pokemon combination would you have? And make sure to check out our Discord. We got a lot going on. We're trying to connect it all to get more content out.
Hoping to get a lot more
So
on Discord so we can actually do some events over there.
yes, that'll be super fun.
Hmm.
So let's get that going. And then, as a friendly reminder, we said this a couple episodes before, but if we get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, I will go do a One Piece section where I go through and review everything. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye bye.